Hey, this video from 2016. No hold me to it. I'm just doing my research. If it got a new video out there, let me know. But y'all see the title, "The War in fucking London, in Camden." Well, I don't know where that in London, but it's the hood. I think it's the hood. I don't fucking know. I'm not from London, the UK. Let's get it.
Two men have been stabbed to death in two separate attacks in Kentish Town in North London last night. The body of the first victim, believed to be in his late teens, was found a couple of hours before police discovered the second victim, who's thought to be in his 20s.
Camden, the heart of fashion and culture in London, with some of the most expensive house prices and biggest tourist attractions in England. And from the outside in, looks like the perfect place to live. But that's what the government want to show you. Once we go deeper into the lower income estates of the borough, we start to see a different story. A story of the country's most deprived estates in London being separated from roads of millionaires literally by one street, and how these estates have created a deadly gang war which has taken over the borough in recent years. But before I get into the video, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications. Let's get into the video.
W intro. Kid nerd.
So Camden is a borough in northwest London and is very close to the centre of London. But despite the area being so close to the rich centre of the capital, in the last few years the war in the area has been going brazy. So historically, unlike neighbouring areas like Islington and Brent, Camden's beef situation hasn't been as active as others. But this all changed around 2016 when a man from Camden called Merce had his watch stolen from another man from another area in Camden. After this, there was some...
What kind of watch was it? Okay. If it was a Rolex, understandable. No, hold up. Was it a real Rolex? Okay, if it didn't cost $5,000 or more, or if a fucking watch. You know what? Let me show you.
Back and forth, which resulted in a big rivalry in the borough, literally between groups of kids that grew up together. One side being gangs built up from a few estates in Camden, which were the Peckwater gang from the Peckwater estate, the QC gang, which were from a road in Camden called Queen's Crescent, and Cumber, which is a gang made up from an estate called Regent's Park in Cumberland Market. They linked up together and called themselves 51st, due to their postcodes being in NW1 and NW5, which is where the 5 and the 1 come from. And from the other side of the feud, we have a gang called Active Gang, where some people may know from their songs, and they're from the Agar Grove estate in Camden. An Active Gang are affiliated with another gang called CT1 and NRB, which they all linked up and called themselves 71st. And just like that, the war was now on between 51st and 71st over this watch being stolen. So Camden is actually home to a big Somalian community, with a big portion of them residing in Agar Grove, which is the territory of the 71st gang. So
That's the first time I see the Somali gang. I didn't know. I thought they were the nicest people on the planet. Whoa. They damn London. Damn.
such a big community that the majority of 71st members are actually Somalian. And if you watch one of my previous videos on Mali Strip, Somalian people are people you don't want to be messing with, which you will understand more in this video. And this beef was on go from early. In 2017, two members of the AG gang, which represent 71st, executed a triple shooting on 3 51st members. Two of the members ran to a nearby hospital, but while hospital staff was treating the two members, they also called police to the hospital to investigate the situation. Once the two realized the police was called, they didn't even care about their treatment anymore, and attempted to run out of the hospital while still having bullet wounds lodged in them. But the police ended up detaining them and arresting them after a...
3 young men believed to have been shot in Okay, y'all tell. Okay, I know one thing. The hospital is free, right? I may got that wrong. So niggas just, when niggas get stabbed, they run to the hospital, get patched up, and they fucking dip. Cause 9 out of 10 the police gonna get called like, nigga, how you get stabbed, what happened, how you get shot, blah 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 blah. Hey, hurry this shit up, fix me up, I got to go. In America, you can't fucking do that. They go make sure your ass don't leave. The America, they go like, you're not leaving. That you not fucking leaving. After, they not gonna tell you they calling the police. They go just fix your ass up. Then when you go outside, police right there, you're done. So I know in the UK, healthcare is free. I may be wrong. Y'all gotta tell me that.
Struggle between the both. The reason they wanted to run was because all three members are actually wanted for suspicion of grievous bodily harm, which all three were eventually arrested for. Now, of course, 51st weren't happy about this triple shooting, and they were trying to get it back in blood. So they went lurking on the Aga Grove estate and shot a rival in the face with a shotgun. The rival actually managed to survive.
You said a shotgun. Ain't no foe.
Shooting, and they were trying to get it back in blood. So they went lurking on the Aga Grove estate and shot a rival in the face with a shotgun. The rival actually managed to survive.
How he survived a shotgun? You sure it was a shotgun? Ain't a shotgun to the face. Let's be honest, a shotgun. I guess God wasn't ready for him. I guess God was on his side. Okay, ain't no fucking way. I never seen nobody get. You say he got shot in the head. It had to be far. Okay, if it were close, he dead. YouTube. I'm just YouTube. This y'all just for this YouTube is old. Okay, this old. This not new. He had to be far apart. Ain't no way. There's no fucking way.
Survive and make his own way back to hospital. But this beef really kicked off in a situation that wasn't even linked to both of the gangs. So on February 2017, a 16-year-old girl had an Airbnb party in Kensington, West London. You know those type of parties where a girl invites 7 different types of gangs and asks people to leave their beef at home? Yeah, one of those. So at this party, there were people...
Females. You think that... Okay, I don't condone the gang shit. But niggas mad at each other from a different block or a different hood or area. You say, hey, leave the beef at the house. Nigga, what do you think this is? Them niggas making songs about slapping people, mamas and daddies and sisters. And they don't got anything to do with it. You think, hey, leave your stuff at the house. When ops say it's on site, they fucking mean it. Females, I'm sorry, like you can't be telling gang members, they not like your mama and daddy beef. It's like leave the beef at the house, come to my party. Nah, these niggas kill us now. They kill us. Yeah, hell no.
People from all over London there, but a few uninvited guests tried to pull up to the party. One of these people being the boy from 51st called Dotty and his friend, who pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble. But the night turned left for Dotty and his friend, and ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. And when the boys caught up to him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether, which actually resulted in Dotty dying, which 4 16-year-old boys from Hackney and Tottenham were sentenced and convicted for. So 51st were mad about this situation, obviously, that their member Dotty was just stabbed to death. So they were out trying to get revenge. So they went out for revenge in a stolen BMW and travelled all the way from Camden in northwest London to Hackney in East London and then to Tottenham in North London, because that's where the people who killed Dotty were from. But they ended up finding no one from both areas, but they weren't trying to go home without spilling some blood first. So 51st went all the way back to Camden to look for 71st members and found an affiliate member of 71st called AK and killed him. But they weren't done there. They were riding for a whole another 2 hours looking for more 71st members and found the 71st member called Mitch's little brother. Mitch's little brother attempted to run into a cab and begged the driver to drive him to safety, but the driver refused to move, and he was dragged out the cab and stabbed to death by 51st members, all within 2 hours of...
That's cab driver going to hell. That's cab driver. I know the cab driver don't got anything to do with it. He could be a hero that day. They pulled that nigga out of this cab, and you know what they did. I bet the cab didn't even call the police. He's like, I didn't see shit. I bet, okay, if I know he did that. Okay, if he did have a heart, he could have drove off. Like, hey, nigga chasing me. Nah. Damn.
of their first murder they committed that night, and 6 members were sentenced to life for these murders. Then on September 4th, 2017, a member from 51st called Flips and the older brother of the second boy who died that night called Mitch bumped into each other on Hampstead Road in Camden and started getting into a little altercation, which ended with Flips stabbing Mitch in his arm, neck and back, leaving the knife lodged into Mitch's bones and murdering him. An undercover policeman just happened to witness this whole situation and ran down Flips and arrested him, and now Flips is serving 17 years to life for this murder. After this, the beef in Camden went under some serious investigation by police, and members from all sides started to get taken down for conspiracies, firearms and drug charges, and the beef started to die down a bit. But then 2019 hit, and quite a lot of the members that were locked up started to come out, and taking in consideration that 51st members, just before everyone started going to prison, and killed 3 71st members, 71st members started coming out of prison on some demon time, and were most definitely looking for revenge with no warnings. The first signs that 71st was really back was on a cold Tuesday in February. 1 AM in the morning, a 51st member called Gxng was walking past the Sainsbury's in Camden when a 4x4 crashed into him and several
Teen love with life tracing inside the being run down with
71st members jumped out on him like a pack of wolves, stabbing him repeatedly in his head and body, leaving him literally paralysed and not being able to walk. But that wasn't enough for 71st members. They wanted someone dead for their friends. So on April 1st, 2019, a suspected member of 51st called Tysjs and his cousin were walking down Grafton Road in Gospel Oak, Camden, when 4 71st members jumped out a stolen black car and started chasing them. Tysjs and his cousin split up, but unfortunately the men who jumped out the car locked onto Tysjs, and Tysjs ended up dropping to the ground when the 71st members started to stab him repeatedly with machetes and then run from the scene. After this murder, 71st members made a song called Congo, and the reason why they called it Congo is because Tysjs was actually a refugee from Congo after him and his family fled the war from over there. And members repeatedly in their songs say that they get their weed from Congo, not Cali, pretty much just trying to say that they're smoking on Tysjs. And as I said before, the majority of these 71st members are Somalian. So after all this, there was news going about in Camden that 51st members were out on the lurk, and any Somalian they see they're killing.
Heard some really strong intelligence that there is going to be revenge for Calvin's killing, and his friends have literally said they are going to go out and kill any Somali in retaliation. So I just want to make that really.
So, hey, I know I'm yapping too much, but let's be honest, it's a reaction. Y'all want to get my reaction. This over a watch? Over a fucking watch? All this? A watch? Okay, he haven't talked about the watch yet. And like he should skip over that, like a watch stole the wallet, and then he went on a fucking rampage. And like, this gang doing this. Hey, if you look like this person, he is on site over a fucking watch. And the bad thing, machetes. I know UK can't have guns and shit. Machetes, just in America. If y'all see the American news, we got AKs and shit, so niggas can't walk in places and light the bitch up, and that's. But I don't think our drug scene is this bad. Like, people get shot at, but get run down in cars and get stabbed by machetes and stuff. That's fucking blasphemous. That's fucking crazy. Jesus.
Be clear, this is from a young Somali woman in Camden who's 24 years old, and basically we strongly suspect they're going to go out tonight and kill a Somali.
Which was probably a bit of a stretch. But on the other hand, 71st members kept saying that they're warring with Tysjs, which is basically the Somalian word for West African people. Because you have to remember, despite Somalians being dark-skinned and African, a lot of Somalians don't really see themselves the same as other black people. So this was kind of turned into a race war between Somalian and black people in Camden, which is just all wrong for so many reasons. But 71st weren't happy enough with the killing of Tysjs. They wanted to spill more blood. So August 12, 2019, 6 members started circling the estates of 51st members in a stolen Ford Fiesta and a stolen Seat, when they spotted 16-year-old culprit and other members coming out of a restaurant around 10:30 p.m. Culprit and other members ran to a nearby set of blocks near Euston Road, but 71st members found them later on that night, and 3 members jumped out and chased them down, catching up to the 16-year-old 51st member called Culprit. Culprit was running for his life and literally screaming for help, banging on neighbours' doors to let him in so he could escape his attackers. But when the 71st members caught up to him, 2 71st members held him, while a 3rd member repeatedly pushed a 1-foot-long zombie killer knife through his chest while it was coming out of his back. And when the 71st member...
That nigga was 16. Basically 15. He was like 15, 16, still same thing. A zombie knife. That's the first time I ever heard of that fucking knife. UK got all kind of different knives. A zombie knife. What the fuck is... What kind of knife? What kind of knife? Where'd that knife come from? A zombie knife?
members were done. The killers were said to be running away after, laughing hysterically, which is what bystanders said. And Culprit, he was just any normal kid from London. He was talented at football and even had trials for Southampton Football Club, but started getting involved in a local gang and brushed aside his football, and unfortunately became a victim of the streets. Now, as these back and forths normally go, 51st were now looking for revenge on their recent L's, and there were many stabbings across the month. And early on in September, there was a case of 3 killings in 5 days in Camden. One of these being a man from a completely different area all the way in East London, but unfortunately he was walking at the wrong place at the wrong time. So he was actually walking on Queen's Crescent Estate, which is a hotspot for 51st members, and was shot and killed in a drive-by, being mistaken for a 51st member. Just an hour before, another woman was stabbed to death just a few hundred yards from the situation, and 4 days later a 71st member called Nuts was stabbed to death by a gang of 51st members with machetes outside one of the busiest areas in London, Camden Tube Station. And for the longest, a lot of people didn't even know all this stuff was going on, until a 71st member called Suspect started jumping on the drill scene, calling himself the Camden Grim Reaper, and releasing some of the most disrespectful tunes towards his ops. So much that police take down pretty much any song that the gang uploads, which really started to bring some attention to what's happening down there, and definitely got the attention of me, especially a song from Suspect called Dugout, which is probably one of the most disrespectful songs I've ever heard, and really makes you deep how tapped this whole beef is. In one of his lines he says,
"Same place we used to play runouts, is the same place his chest got dug out. Same place I was telling you play out, is the same place I'm telling you come out."
Which really makes you think, damn, these guys were close friends at one time, and now they're trying to kill each other, all stemming from a little small altercation that happened a couple years back. But anyway guys, that's it for today's video, and peace out.
I don't condone none of this shit. It's just fucked up. Oh well, watch. Yeah, a couple years ago, a watch starting 2016, whenever it happened. A watch. A watch. Maybe more. Maybe some more. Cause after he said the watch, he didn't talk about the watch no more. He said the stolen watch. Then he went on the fucking rampage talking about this. I hope this whole thing wasn't about no fucking watch. If it is, Jesus Christ, please help us. I don't know what to say. This shit crazy. And this video is from 2016. I don't know what else happened after that in 2019, 2020. I don't know. I don't know what. So if we got an update video of the new gangs or the old gangs still beefing, tell me. Give me an update. Okay, give me an update. Cause y'all telling me in the comments half of these niggas on the run or they in jail. So shit. I see y'all in the next one.